All right. Okay. Let's get this started. Nope, do not want to do that. Sorry if my mouse is very loud. It's not my fault. This is public, right? This is public. Yeah, this is public. Alrighty. Sorry, no original face. You know I'm white. That's about it. Alright. I guess if someone shows up, I'll say what's going on, what I'm doing. Or should I put on my reading glasses? There we go. That's better. Yeah. All right. Howdy, populace. This is the Performance Fellow here, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on Halo Reach. All right. Let's see if that sounded good. Oh, so. Oh, do I have a viewer? I don't know what that says. Is that a viewer? I don't think. Oh, one watching now. Hello, viewer. This is like the first time, by the way, I've ever watched something on well, not watched something. I've done live stuff, and there's no way you can trace me to who I am. Although there's people who know who I am. Oh well, okay. Earbud. Okay, let's try that again. Except maybe this time I'm gonna put headphones in. Let's see how that sounds. All right, hello. Hello. Let's see how that sounds. Hello. Hello. Okay, let's see what's louder. Hello. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. Oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry. Sorry about that. How's everybody doing? Because, you know, I'm just going live right now. I'm going to put this in here. And I'm Deadpool too. And Batman. That's right. All right. Let's get this started. So what I'm doing basically is I'm just going to be reading off a script for what I'm going to be doing for a later video. And I'm going to have to probably wear this for about 40 minutes. So, yeah. Let's get this started. Oh, no. Do not want to do that. That looks weird. Probably should get a onesie. Actually, I'm going to get a onesie real quick. I'll be right back. I'll just take this out. Don't worry about the dollhouse back there. Don't worry about it. right, let's get this started. Let's hope I'm not like I couldn't find my onesie, so I just put on this. It's my green hoodie. Plus, it makes it so barely can see me. And I know it's the middle of summer, but it's actually getting pretty cold right now. And I live in. All right. Okay, let's get this started. Howdy, populace. This is the Performance Fellow here, and we're going to talk about my thoughts on Halo Reach. Hope you guys like that Ackman-esque. Okay. Hope you guys like that Ackman-esque intro. I'm a huge fan of his videos, and one of his videos I've watched is his Halo Reach, Why It's So Awesome. Now, before we begin, I need to tell you guys something. This review is coming from a guy who started playing Halo multiplayer at Reach, but I never really played it much. I didn't play very much. I played mostly 4 and 5. I've never played much of Halo Reach or 3 or 2 multiplayer. I didn't start on those. And I never played those games when they were in their glory days, but whenever I played Reach, I always played it for its campaign. Reach was my childhood Halo game. Now, for when I review this, I'm going to split it into 4 parts. The criticisms, the campaign, the multiplayer, and some other things that need to be addressed. And then at the end, I'm going to give my final verdict. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get this started. Now, there are only a few criticisms about Halo Reach. Number 1 being the characters, like Noble Team, being bland, and their deaths also being bland. And number 2, armor lock. Now, for what I can say about Noble Team being bland is completely wrong. I'm going to go through each character of Noble Team and say why they are awesome. Carter, Noble 1. Carter's the leader of Noble Team. He's a bit of a RoboCop throughout the story, but when Noble Team has their backs against a wall, he is willing to listen to Kat and have her take over for a bit. And he also let Dr. Halsey have time to finish her work instead of listening to others and blowing Sword Base into oblivion. Just checking no one else is here. I'm kind of by myself at the house now. Yeah. All right. Well, actually, before I go on a little further, I'm going to do something real quick. Share. Yeah, I need to just do something real quick. All right, and after that, all right, I have to Carter. Now let's go on to Kat. Kat, Noble 2. Kat is the only female in Noble Team, but that doesn't stop her from being the boss that she is. She likes to run her mouth. She's also the techie of the group. If it weren't for her, Noble Team would be in a whole heck of problems. See, this is how you be a real female leader. Captain Palmer. Wait, is it Commander Palmer or Captain Palmer? I actually don't know. Hello, viewer. Oh, you thought Kat was annoying? Well, when I play Halo Reach, I actually use her helmet. I hate her personality too. I also do, but I actually really like her helmet. It's actually one of my favorites, and I actually use it for my avatar on Xbox, and I also use it on Halo Reach. I don't use it for Halo 5 much. I like the Photos helmet. I think it looks better. But yeah, Hey, Journey Squad, how you doing? I'm just reading a little script for a future video. She is way better than Palmer. That is 100% sure, for sure. Okay, now. June, Noble 3. June is always the stereotypical sniper. He doesn't talk much in front of everybody, but he's always there for you, even when you don't see him. But in some of the cutscenes, he likes to talk about the rest of the Noble team behind their backs. But he's also knows their importance. Like in the scrap of dialogue. Really missing Cal right about now. He also hates to do things that require more effort than necessary, like how he said in this first mission. Like he said something about these survivors that were fighting the Covenant. He was like, should we save these stragglers? But then Carter says, no man is left behind, man. All right, and or in this, where both of what I've stated is shown, where he talks about when Cat runs an op direction, action is always necessary. How you doing, Journey Squad? Thank you for coming into the stream. Just kind of doing a little stream. Sorry, no showing my face. I don't like showing my face. Don't have a disfigurement. I just don't like showing it. Here, I'll show you my mouth. Hi. See, now you know I have a mouth. What have I done? No, people are going to show that. Emil, Noble 4. When you look at Emil, okay. Yeah. I just don't like. Well, it's not really. I don't like showing my face. I'd probably show my face if I wanted to. It's more of a rule. Because probably when I turn 18, I'll show my face. Just Plus, I'm fine with not showing my face. Anyways, I would show my face if I was allowed to, but. All right, now let's talk about Emil. Emil, Noble 4. When you look at Emil in almost every cutscene, you think he has a fascination with knives. You'd be right. Where most would want the Covenant dead to protect Reach, Emil would just want to kill the Coveys for the sake of killing them. In the words of Ackman, Reach for Emil, whatever. But let's just kill crap. Just kill all of it. Emil is just the sort of guy who's willing to do anything to kill. Emil's the sort of guy who's willing to do anything to kill the Covenant. You may even notice that at the end, Emil was willing to sacrifice himself for you. And he did, but only for you to sacrifice yourself for the Pillar of Autumn. All right. Now, George, Noble 5. Heard that? I certainly did. Mask is getting a little uncomfortable. Might have to switch masks because this thing is tight. My head starts spinning like PewDiePie. All right, I'm on George. All right. Noble 5, George, the big guy. Some people think that he slows down the team, but really, he keeps them together. Him being a Spartan 2 shows that he has many years of training. It also explains why he so easily answers Halsey's questions. Because, he was kidnapped by Halsey and was raised by her his entire life. George is the guy that can kill when he has to and sympathize when he needs to. You could say he's a big, friendly giant. Noble 6. He's whatever you need him to be. He can be a sniper, a turret guy, or a pilot, or a demolitions expert. Now, when I found out that you could change what your Spartan looked like in the campaign, I freaked out. I thought it was crazy. The ability to change what your Spartan looked like was like the best idea. Sometimes I would play through the mission, Long Night of Solace, and just have a helmet that you could, All right. See ya, Journey. All right. Back to what I was saying. All right. Let's just start back up. Okay. Noble 6. Don't really know his name, but that doesn't matter because he can be whatever you need him to be. He can be a sniper, a turret guy, a pilot, or even a demolitions expert. Now, when I found out you could change what your Spartan looked like in the campaign, I completely freaked out. I thought it was crazy. There's no way you could do that. The ability to change what your Spartan looked like was the best idea. And that is why I so loved Spartan Ops when I played it. Because you could change what your character looked like, and it was your character. Sometimes I would just play through the mission like Long Night of Solace and have like a helmet that I think would fit well with space. And then when after the mission was over and you've crashed down, I would exit the mission and then just, put on a helmet but take off an accessory. Like if that's not immersion, I don't know what is. Now, when it comes to how awesome he is, at killing the Covenant, he's known as a hyper-lethal. And the only other Spartan to be a hyper-lethal is the Master Chief himself. So you don't have to even question his abilities. And that is what makes up a Noble Team. And to say that their deaths were lame or that they didn't make any sense is false. All of Noble Team's deaths were perfectly fine, and they were all ironic to their characters. Like George, he was a big guy, and he wanted to die on Reach. Well, he died in a huge explosion, like the big guy he is, and he died off planet, just barely away from its surface. For Kat, she likes to run her mouth, and she's the brains of the group. So she died with a bullet through her head in the middle of talking. For Carter, he's the leader of Noble Team, and he gave his life. Let's see. I have to wear glasses. Now let's put on these glasses and start this review. All right. Oh man, this the air is coming out of my eyes, so it's making my glasses foggy. Yeah, no, I'm taking those off. All right. And he gives his life for them by going down with the ship to allow Emil and Noble Six to get away. Emil has a fascination with knives, and he loves killing the Covenant. So when he died with an energy sword through his chest, he was also able to do what he loved most, killing Covenant, when he finally plunged that final knife into that Covenant that stabbed him through the chest. June was the only one to live. Well, actually, no, wait, not there yet. Noble Six was a lone wolf, but him being a hyper-lethal couldn't stop him from dying all by himself. Now, June was the only one to live because he's a sniper and he likes to stay away from the action. And so that's what he did, and that's how he lived. Now, for the second criticism about Halo Reach. Armor lock. Got no way of defending it. It's crap. And now let's head on to the campaign. The campaign, well, I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. My favorite campaign is Halo Reach. There's no doubt about it. Okay? You cannot tell me that any other Halo game has a better campaign. You cannot tell me that. There's no way you can tell me anything that will make me hate Halo Reach. Now, I would say like one of the things that can happen is the Halo 5 effect that Ackman so cleverly gave, is that kind of makes me not like Halo Reach as much as I used to, is that they made Noble Team's deaths all for nothing. Halo 5 did that. Unless Cortana redeems herself in Halo Infinite or something like that, I'd say they just made Noble Team sacrifice for nothing. because their sacrifice was for that Cortana would make it off planet and save the human race. And well, now she's destroying the human race, so the sacrifice was for nothing. And this is not even on the script what I'm saying right now. I'm saying this off the bottom of my heart. That is one of the biggest things, is the Halo 5 effect. That one simple thing that destroys Halo Reach is the Halo 5 effect that makes Noble Team's death and everyone who sacrificed themselves so Cortana and Master Chief could make it to Halo and do all that they did throughout Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, only for Halo 5 to muck it all up. Okay, now let's actually talk about the campaign. Now, when I say that Halo Reach is my favorite campaign, I mean it. I believe Halo Reach has the best campaign. Now, before you call all about me like, whoa, man, what about Halo 2? What about Halo 3? Well, guess what? Now, when I say I believe that Halo Reach is the best campaign, like, don't go about, what about Halo 2? What about Halo 3? What about Halo 5? Wait, what? That's not in the script. Who wrote Halo 5? Davis, was it you? Freaking Davis. Writing Halo 5, one of the best campaigns in the world. Idiot. All right, now back to what I was okay. Now, when I say Halo Reach is my favorite campaign, don't go about saying, well, what about Halo 2? What about Halo 3? Well, I love those campaigns, but it just doesn't measure up to Halo Reach. I love Halo 2 and 3. I do. They're great, but nothing compares to Halo Reach. Now, before I go all in depth about the campaign, I'm going to give you just a brief summary. And if you want to make it, if you just want to go to you want to skip this part and just hear the summary, just go to this timestamp that happened to the timestamp that's going to show up after the summary. All right. Okay. Now, Halo Reach campaign is a setting-driven story, as Ackman says, and is focused on the setting of where it takes place. For in this instance, it's the planet Reach. They do this by having a lot of time devoted to, you know, things like the scenery. They have a lot of landscape shots, and they really show the importance of Halo Reach just by, you know, dialogue. They like with Colonel Holland, like he just in that beginning cutscene, he says Reach is too dang important, and he's right. Like for them, Reach was incredibly important because it was the only other planet that had human life on it other than Earth. Now, the campaign story is about the fall of Reach and how you play it. You hope that something goes different, but it doesn't. And you have to sit through it knowing that there's nothing you can do to stop all the death and destruction that happens at Reach. All right. Okay, now I'm going to be talking about the campaign levels, level by level. It's going to be quick summaries of each, though, but it's probably going to take me about 10 minutes. So you can add to this timestamp right here. Hopefully, just some editing magic. There's the timestamp. There you go. Go there, and you'll completely skip this part, and you'll go straight to the multiplayer section. All right. Level 1, Noble Actual. Now, this mission is just a cutscene. There's nothing really gameplay-wise happening in it. It just helps you to understand where you are, what's happening, and who the characters are. Lets you understand what they do. Like, you can clearly tell that the characters like of Noble Team that they've been through a lot. You can tell that kind of stuff just through this cutscene because they have like a lot of stuff on their armor. A lot of them have like scars, like Kat. She lost an arm, stuff like that. All right, now to level 2, the Winter Contingency. This mission is appropriately named after an order that has to happen if Covenant is found on a planet, so that the planet can be warned and known to flee the planet and head to the nearest colony. In this mission, it introduces you how to play the game. You're trying to figure out what happened. You're trying to figure out what happened in this section of land because there's no radio. It's just complete radio silence in this area. But as you are doing so, you find out that it was the Covenant all along, and you need to stop them, and save some Marines and warn the planet of that the Covenant has just found Reach. Level 3, Oni-Soder base. You're trying to figure out what the Covenant is after in this base. The Oni sword base is a sword base that is owned by Oni. That is full of many top secrets that the Covenant would find very useful information in having. And Noble Team's job is to figure out what the Covenant want in this base and try to stop them and keep them away from it. And at the same time, you're trying to get some communication things up and running and make sure that the Covenant do not get inside Sword Base. And at the end of the mission, you find out that George has a really special relationship with Dr. Halsey. Now, level 4, Nightfall, one of my personal favorite missions. Not my favorite, not my absolute favorite. That's coming soon. It's my third favorite. Nightfall. This mission is pretty reminiscent of the Truth and Reconciliation from Combat Evolved. You're on a stealth op with your boy June, and Kat is leading the op. You're trying to figure out what's going on in this black zone and what the Covenant are doing inside it, only for you to figure out that they have a strike force. You thought they had only just a strike force, but you to only figure out that they actually had an invading army to get rid of all the people of Reach. All right, level 5, the tip of the spear. You're in a dogfight with the Covenant, and you're trying to control the area and destroy the Spire that's making it so hard to get rid of them. You finally do so with one of the most powerful ships in the area, but only for it to be shot down like a bug by one of the motherships. And the only backup to come is going to have to take 48 hours. Level 6, Long Night of Solace. I can easily say this is my favorite mission in all of Halo. All right, now I've played this mission 100 of times. I know it basically off by heart of what happens. Like, I know where basically almost every single weapon is that can be shown. Like, I know that you can find a shotgun and an energy sword right before you get into that saber. Even though, take the shotgun because it has more bullets. I need more bullets! All right, man, this is going for a half hour. Holy crap. Huh. All right. I'm glad I made this public. Journey Squad. Yeah. Hey. Try to. I need to talk out of here real quick. It's kind of hurting. All right. Well, you can't see my eyes. If you just see my mouth, that's fine. That just look weird. It's gonna hurt my nose a little bit too. All right, let's talk about Long Night of Solace. Ugh. All right, there we go. Long Night of Solace. You start this mission diminished, and there's no way you can fight back. And the only backup you have is going to have to come in 48 hours, and that's not enough time. So at one point, you hear Kat is coming up with an idea. She has the idea of using a slipspace drive and smuggle it onto one of the ships and have it speed directly into the mothership Covenant that is nearby and destroy it, creating a small black hole that would destroy it. Itchy nose. And the only way to get up there is that you need to infiltrate an Oni base to get a Saber, which is basically a small fighter jet that can go into space. You execute the plan successfully, and you finally get onto this cruiser and smuggle the slipspace drive. You get it onto the refueling track to the supercarrier, and you finally make it. Only for the slipspace drive to take damage, and there's no way you can have it fire. There's no way you can actually have it fire automatically. So, George, being the only one of the only ones who can step up, George being one of the only ones there, steps up and sacrifices himself for you, only for that sacrifice to mean nothing. Just a minute later, with 50 more of those ships coming in that George just destroyed. Level 7, Exodus. You're all by yourself in this mission and you're trying to regroup with your team. While doing so, you find Marines and civilians trying to get off planet. While helping them, you're introduced to the Brutes, a savage race of the Covenant. And you finally get a ship full of civilians off the planet, and you finally regroup with your team. Level 8, New Language Entry. I would say this is one of the most unique missions, and I really think if they don't have one of these in Halo Infinite, I don't know what to do. Because seriously, they need more missions like this that are super unique. All right, in this mission, you're given a special kind of Falcon. This one has a turret in the front, and they also have it so you have 2 Marines on the sides that will cover you at all costs. And while you're doing this mission, it's not really linear. You can do basically whatever you want in this open-esque world in this mission. So you're given different objectives in different orders. Like, I didn't realize this until, I would say, about the last time, about maybe a year ago when I played Halo Reach again. I didn't realize that they had you do these missions in different orders every time you play New Alexandria. I always thought they were in a specific order, but they weren't. All right, and your main objective is to shut down Covenant jammers to make it so you can have more radio channels to use. You finally get these, and you retreat to an Oni building, only for that area to be glassed, and you have to evacuate. And while you're evacuating, Kat gets shot through the head. And that's another Spartan dead. 2 down, 4 to go. I'm sick. I shouldn't be coughing through a mask. That's a terrible idea. All right. Level 9, the package. In this mission, you must uphold the mission of destroying the research in an Oni sword base and keep the Covenant from getting it, just like in the mission sword base. You must head to the point of where you need to plant the charges, only for your orders to change. And now Dr. Halsey is the one who's giving you orders, and she tells you that you must get this AI chip to the Pillar of Autumn. And this AI is Cortana. Level 10, the Pillar of Autumn. In this mission where you have to get to the Pillar of Autumn, you have to abandon ship and let Carter in this mission, you have to get to the Pillar of Autumn on the ground because you had to abandon ship and let Carter distract the flying ships. In this mission, you must uphold the mission. No, I'm sucking at this. Man, I need a drink of water. I'll get one after. I'm almost finished. Holy crap, 40 minutes. I'm gonna have to freaking like tone this down. This is gonna be a long review. I might have to split it into 2 parts. All right. In this mission, you have to get to the Pillar of Autumn on ground because you had to abandon ship and let Carter to distract the Covenant airships. You almost make it to the Pillar of Autumn, but there's a scarab in your way, and now there's no way to get past it. And so Carter, being where he is in this Pelican, he sacrifices himself for you by driving his ship into the scarab, destroying it. You finally make it to the Pillar of Autumn, and you must clear a landing pad to make it so that Captain Keyes can make it to you and bring you on. Emil takes the cannon and is willing to sacrifice himself so that Noble Six can get off the planet. Only for Emil to get stabbed through the chest, making it so that Emil cannot sacrifice himself, and that Noble Six must. You finally destroy the supercarrier that is about to glass the Pillar of Autumn, and you allow the Pillar of Autumn to make it off reach, leaving you by yourself, like how you always say you work best as a lone wolf. The Pillar of Autumn makes it off reach, leaving you by yourself, like how you always say. You always work better as a lone wolf. Level 11. Now, I would say this is one of the most unique missions. Just like New Alexandria. It's very creative. I didn't think they had the guts of doing this mission until I played it. You started this mission hoping that you'd make it, but only for you to die no matter what happens, and there's no way you can stop it. Now, I want to say just one thing about this mission. My brother actually one time made it so that only elite generals were after him. And he actually had a jetpack and was able to get up on top of a pillar. And literally, the only thing below him were all Energy Sword General elites. And they were just like piling up around him. It was crazy. Like I could not do that myself. Now, I told you this because I needed to say what made these missions unique. Because the stuff that I didn't mention, I either forgot about or I either forgot. Now the things I didn't mention about the missions were either stuff I forgot about or just made the missions kind of blend together into basically the same thing. Now, that one thing is that no mission's really better than the other. Like, there's definite like missions that there's no mission that's like the complete worst. Like, but there are missions that are really, really good, like New Alexandria, Long Night of Solace, and Nightfall. These are my top 3 missions. I would rank all the missions, but I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, great. Now, each mission at the end, it made you feel powerless. There was no way that you could stop the fall of Reach. You finish the mission, and there's a cutscene playing that makes you think, "Oh my goodness, we actually did it! I think we might actually prevent the fall of Reach. This might be an alternate ending, guys." Only to bombshell, someone's dead, or a ship is destroyed, making you powerless to stop it. Now, I'd like to say something. Halo Reach was not about just the sacrifice that Noble Team provided. It was about the sacrifice that everyone in Reach made to make it so that the Pillar of Autumn could make it off Reach. and create the franchise that we love today. All right. Now, the multiplayer. Now, I haven't played much of Halo Reach's multiplayer. I've been mostly playing it for the past 2 weeks, I would say. But I have my most fun playing Living Dead or Slayer. Those are the only modes I really have fun playing. Now, I already know how much Armor Lock is cancer and stuff like that. But if Halo Reach did not have these things like Armor Lock, I would say it would be a 10 out of 10 game. At first, I didn't really think Armor Lock was that big of an issue. I thought it was a minimal. But after playing one game of Team Slayer, after playing one game of Team Slayer, man, I was pissed off. Absolutely pissed off. Like, it made me hate Armor Lock. Just one game. Because there's these one guys that were using Armor Lock as an exploit. And for when someone uses Armor Lock, it's a get out of jail free card. Like, you're shooting at someone, they're about to die, and then Armor Lock. And then the person that's right beside them kills you, making it so you don't get a kill and they stay alive. It's a get out of jail free card. Even though those things were useless in Monopoly. Except at the beginning of the game. I really should not be coughing in a mask. All right. Now, when it comes to gameplay, I would say it's really great. I hate that they took away weapons like the battle rifle. If they kept that in and also added the DMR, I would say that'd be a great game. Now, for the game that was made in 2010, it has 6,000 players online playing it, which I think is incredible. I always find a game pretty quick around the same time it would take me to find a Halo 5 game. And it is insanely fun. I also like how Halo Reach has sprint as not just a thing that everyone can have. It makes it and I make it an armor ability so that if you want it, it makes it so that you're not allowed to use things like Armor Lock, Cloak, holograms, or stuff like that. I like the adding of holograms. I didn't like the adding of Cloak as an armor ability. They should have kept that as just a power up. And I also liked the adding of the jetpack. That was a great add. I loved the jetpack. It was a very awesome thing, no matter how much 12-year-olds like using it. Now, I know how much people hate the loadout system. They think it's a piece of garbage. It doesn't belong in Halo games. That's a Call of Duty thing. Well, I think it fits in Reach, because Reach is a game that just added Armor Lock systems. And usually when you play things like Team Slayer, the only difference between the loadouts is just what armor ability you get. So it's not that much. Now, I can't defend some things about the multiplayer, like, yeah, again, Armor Lock and the adding of Cloak, and just, well, it's very full of tryhards, I would say, yeah, if you tried playing it nowadays. But I haven't found too many tryhards. I've only found them in games of Team Slayer, but I've been able to find my own. And now there's some other things I need to address. This is the final part. Now, when it comes to this game, we need to realize that this game came out in 2010, and is still one of the most populated and popular Halo games. I also had a little theory that this game actually takes place in 2589, like that little thing at the end of Halo Reach that said Reach 2589 with that ship in the background. I have a theory that we're actually someone in that year who's watching all of what happened in Halo Reach through cameras. And since we see that Noble Six's helmet is above ground, looks fully functional and stuff like that somebody found it and they're compiling everything that happened there in the cameras that are there and stuff like that, and making the story of what happened in Reach. Now, I can easily say that this game definitely holds up after 8 years and is still my favorite Halo. my final verdict is a 9 out of 10. Now, I give it a 9. I would give it a 10, but there's just things like armor lock and how the story didn't resonate with a lot of people. Because, well, I had to explain what made the characters so awesome. Not a lot of people, like, I got who the characters were really quick. I didn't have to do much, like, digging to find out what kind of person they were. I just was very attentive. But not a lot of people are that attentive, so the characters didn't really resonate with people. They didn't make them sympathetic of them or stuff like that. And yeah, and that is why Halo Reach is so awesome. Wait, that's not right. Davis, that's again not in the script. We're not ripping off Actman. Again. Well then, frick you, Davis. Darn Davis, man. Actually, no, I don't want to do that part over. And now, and that's why Halo Reach is so awesome. Wait, that's not in the script. Davis, you changed it again. We're not ripping off Actman again. I just did it at the beginning of the video. What do you mean we need to do it for views? I'm not in this for views. I have a channel that has 35 subscribers. All right, then. Stupid Davis. He's such an idiot. Such a big idiot. All right. Okay, and back to what I was saying. And that's why, and those are my thoughts on Halo Reach. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye. This is hurting my hand. This is hurting my hand. Why is the screen getting darker? Whoopsies. All right, ending this now.